All right, guys. It is a great day in paradise, y'all, because we got some great stories to talk about tonight, y'all. We got a lot, and y'all, I cannot wait to talk about it. But man, I needed to prep a Halloween costume, y'all. So because I did it, I went ahead and kind of decorated it on the camera here. But thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. We got some good segments to talk about. I saw my man Joe Son in the comments. Yes, we're finally talking about Five Nights at Freddy's. It's about time, ain't it? Because I don't know. I'll be real with you, Joe Son. We gotta talk, cause real. I don't know if I liked it that much, man. But y'all, I want to get my man in here, the host with the most, my man Loretto. What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, a little bit somber. Glad to be here. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, we took some L's today. Let's just say that. But the show must go on, and I love the horror spooky season, and I'm happy to talk shop about that. So
Man, yeah, we got to talk shop because spooky season has been. There's been some decent stuff coming out spooky season, but there's been some not so great things. Because we had what Exorcist drop. Now we had some good and some not so good. But we'll
yeah,
talk
Saw
about it.
Saw X,
What's that?
Saw X and Five Nights at Freddy's and all that.
Yeah, I wish I really wanted to love Five Nights at Freddy's, but I think the fans of the franchise really are gonna like it. But y'all, let's move into our first segment. Guys, it is time for Rate Your Hype. And yet again, we are not really rating hype. We're just going to talk about our top 4 horror watches of the month, guys. There are a lot of watches this month that we both went through. I will admit I've been bad this year about like going through a horror movie a day. Usually every October I go through like one a day. This year I've been kind of bad about it. I think it's because I've been tied up with some TV shows as well that I want to talk about. But guys, we're going to start with our top 4 horror watches of the month. And let us know yours down in the comments. Listen, it could be new movies, old movies, whatever, first time watches, however many watches. It could just be your top 4. Just give us your top 4. Let us know. Lo, my man. What about you?
Man, they're roasting me in the chat right now. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Larry?
Wow.
He said I finally put the bottle down after the Niners lost.
The bottle down.
Hey, man. Hey. So the spooky horror watches of this month.
Yeah, just give us your top 4, man. What was those top 4? Like, I know I got a couple on my list that are hot takes.
Are we gonna do it one at a time, or you want me to knock it out in one go?
Let's just knock it out in one go, and then we tell us all 4, and then give us a brief explanation why.
All right. So let's go. Number 4 for me was Smile. A pleasant surprise. I missed it last year, but I'm gonna be honest. I loved everything about it. It had some really good scares. I thought that it was really creative with that, whatever you want to call it, that entity, that demon's presence, the creepy smile and the suicides and just knowing that helpless feeling. It really got to me. There was some really good moments of dread, and that final act, man, I was on the edge of my seat. There were some twists and turns where you think it's one thing and then it's not what you think, and then there's a big reveal of the demon, and oh man, it was good. It was good. So I liked Smile. I know there's some people that didn't. Some people liked it. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. But I liked Smile. That was really good. My number 3, I'm gonna go with The Fall of the House of Usher. I finally finished Mike Flanagan's newest. Not quite as scary as some of his other work, but it's still really well written. There's the cast, the ensemble is amazing. We got Mark Hamill in villain mode, playing this like sinister lawyer / hitman that just does the dirty work for the Ushers, and then Carla Gugino pretty much like playing like Lady Death herself, and lots of interesting things in this story. An amazing cast from top to bottom, and some really inventive twists on the Edgar Allan Poe tales. Like, it's really cool. Like, a lot of these tales I remember when I was young, you know, the Telltale Heart and the Mask of the Red Death, and it was kind of cool seeing this whole modern take on it integrated into the story of the Ushers. So that was cool. Shouts out Mike Flanagan. My number 2 is Fright Night from 1985. In 1985, starring Chris Sarandon and Roddy McDowall. It's a classic 80s creature feature. It's a little bit cheesy. It's a little bit like, but there's like an 80s charm to it that just makes up for all that. And honestly, the final act is fantastic. It's just really exciting. Great practical effects work. Just old school, like chiller thriller kind of movie. This is the kind of movie that Michael Jackson was probably watching in the video for Thriller, you know, with the girl on his arm and she's like snuggling up on him. It's one of those kind of movies, and honestly, it's got a lot of fun to it. You know, what would you do if a vampire lived next door? Right. And it's kind of plays with that concept. So, and then my number 1, shouts out again, Mike Flanagan, The Haunting of Hill House. It was a first watch for me. My first time watching The Haunting of Hill House blew me away. I did not expect what I got. You know, it's like there's so much more than what you see, and then you peel back the layers on who the ghosts really are and what what the house really is, and it's just so crazy, and it all revolves around the trauma of this family, and it's so well acted from Henry Thomas to Kate Siegel, right? Kate Siegel. They're all amazing. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I jumped out of my seat a couple times. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about. There is that one scare that just you don't see it coming, man, and I jumped out of my skin. That got me. That got me. So shouts out Mike Flanagan. I can't wait to see what else he does. We're gonna have to be talking about that later as well.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, yeah, I also have a Mike Flanagan entry on my list that was also on your list. But I'm going to do it a little bit of a different format, guys. I'm just going to give you my 4. No order specifically, no really ranking them. I'm just going to give you my 4, y'all. Scream, the original. Got to rewatch it every year. I have one on the list that y'all are going to say is not horror because it's not. But I've been watching it all month, actually. Only Murders in the Building. I love that show. It is a mystery show. It's not horror, guys. But, man, this whodunit genre, bro. Like, this is the ultimate, like, the best case scenario of a whodunit TV show. You get Martin Short, Steve Martin, and Selena Gomez in this mystery solving show where there are 3 tenants in a building who have to solve a mystery when one of the tenants in the building dies. It's so good. I got through all 3 seasons this month. Hell, I mean, this last couple weeks, I want to say, got through all 3 seasons, guys. The writing is sharp. It's funny. It's witty. I love it. I've really loved the dynamic between the 3 of them. Not only that, I love that we get perspectives from side characters. They really implement and work with their side characters, and it's so entertaining how they fit into the fold and really come into becoming suspects and things like that. It's just such an explorational show. Really like it, especially for a show that like takes place mostly inside of one hotel, or not hotel, an apartment building. So it's a really great show, guys. Check it out. It's on Hulu right now. Streamed all 3 seasons and blew through it. And I'm a Selena Gomez stan, if y'all didn't know. I'm sure you did if you see my Twitter. But another one I had, so I had Scream, Only Murders in the Building, and then I had, of course, Fall of the House of Usher. Fall of the House of Usher, man. I mean, for all the reasons you said, it's fantastic. The deaths, man, like the deaths are just over the top. Like it's not necessarily scary to where we're getting jump scares and stuff like that, but I think there's some very haunting imagery, and I think the tone still is very, very scary. And I really like the references to Edgar Allan Poe books that they make to the different deaths. I think that's so cool that they tie different references from Edgar Allan Poe's books. I think that's really, really cool. I really like what they did with that. Carla Gugino, queen, okay? She's fantastic. I love her coming back as Death, essentially haunting this family that honestly probably deserved it for the pharmaceutical money-making billionaires they became. So very, very good show. Very good show. And the number 1 is a new one. Again, I'm not really necessarily ranking. I like all 4. This one goes to Totally Killer. And listen, I know a lot of people didn't like it as much as me, but I really like Totally Killer because there's this genre emerging in horror that I'm really enjoying. And it's essentially a blonde final girl who has to get away from a killer, stop a killer, with some kind of sci-fi element added. We see that in Happy Death Day, where it's essentially Groundhog Day mixed into a horror slasher. We see it with Freaky, which is Freaky Friday. Now we see it in Totally Killer, which is Back to the Future. I love it, man. Like, I'm like, keep on like implementing these sci-fi elements into horror movies. It works for me. I'm eating it up. The new cast, I actually really, really liked them a lot. I thought they were good for the roles they were in. I thought it was funny. I had a really good time with all of the new, like the kind of unrecognizable cast, but I had a really good time. I even liked Happy Death Day to You. I liked Happy Death Day. I really liked it. It's not quite Happy Death Day, so it's more Back to the Future because in Totally Killer, she goes back to the past. So it's a Back to the Future type, and she has to like interact with her mother, and so it's a Back to the Future crossover with the slasher. That's what Totally Killer is. It's really good. Sorry, Happy Death Day is Groundhog Day mixed in with a college storyline, but really, really good. But yeah, I had a blast this month. I wish I could have got to more horror watches, especially new horror stuff. Like I really want to get into more horror. I think that's a wheelhouse I need to explore a lot more. I'm really stuck in my superhero action, also drama films, because I really like Oscar stuff. So I'm like stuck in this little box, and I'm like, okay, literally right now. But I'm like, okay, I need to spread to more horror. But guys, really enjoyed that. Let me know some of your watches. I seen some good ones here. Videodrome. Oh, hell yeah. Gothic? Oh, are you talking about Only Murders?
I mean, I wouldn't call it gothic, but just
Oh, I would call it just mystery. I mean, it's
yeah, it's just a
straight up,
mystery
yeah,
comedy thriller.
yeah, it's like mystery comedy. Who done it? It's really, really good. Yep, I'm trapped inside of the TV, y'all. I mean, I didn't have a, like I said, I didn't have a costume, so here's my costume, y'all. I'm a television set.
Hey, Colby's been watching some movies, man.
Hey man, Trick or Treat,
Hey, that's a good
Coraline,
one. Yep. The
dude. That's
Descent,
what's up.
scary as hell.
The Exorcist, dude. I love it. I love it. Stir of
Stir of
Echoes.
Echoes,
This
Jacob's
man's
Ladder,
good. Yo, Babadook,
Babadook.
The Fly, so good. Man, you've got a list down there. That's a list. I wonder if he. Oh, okay, so he had a bunch of honorable mentions. The Invitation's pretty good. I've been a little weary about that one.
Is that the vampire one or the one with Logan Marshall?
Ain't that the one with what's her name from Game of Thrones? Natalie Emmanuel?
Yeah,
The
so
vampire one?
there's two. They have the same name.
Oh.
Yeah, there's another invitation that came out like 3 or 4 years ago with Logan Marshall Green or some shit like that.
Oh.
The guy from Upgrade.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah, there's that's another invitation, and that one's actually pretty good. It's not like scary or anything, but there's a twist to it that I liked. So
that man, I'm
Oh,
telling you, I need to get
see,
into more horror.
a Kit got us.
Ready or not? Oh, what's going on, cousin? Good to see you. Pulling up, pulling in with the invitation. Invited to join us. Logan Marshall. Okay. Yep.
She knows what's up.
Yep.
Cheers.
Got the final on my best horror tournament set. Exorcist versus Halloween.
That's a good matchup.
Wow, what a matchup. I thought Scream would make it to the end. I'm kind of surprised, but the Halloween came over. It probably came down to the two of those up against each other. No, so it's not Upgrade. It's just same. It's the dude from Upgrade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot that was Karen Kusama. Good call.
Wait, so the Natalie Emmanuel? Am I thinking of something else?
No, it's called The Invitation. It's just
okay.
It's like that one's a little bit different. It has like vampires and shit. I didn't really get into that one.
Yeah, that one. I thought it looked a little cheesy, man. I was like, I don't know about that. But y'all, we are going to get into our next segment, guys. We're getting into the main meat and potatoes of the show, y'all. We're getting into All right. We're in the roundup, y'all. Low. Let us know what we got coming up for the week, my friend. Oh, FNAF, man.
Yes. So let's get into this. Five Nights at Freddy's has the biggest Halloween weekend opening ever with a whooping $78 million haul, 130 million worldwide, y'all. Five Nights at Freddy's is killing it. This is also, mind you, on a $20 million budget. It's the second biggest opening for a video game adaptation, second only to Super Mario Brothers, which took home a bill earlier this year.
Yeah.
So this is a huge year for video games. It's setting a precedent here, and it's also showing that, with Super Mario Brothers and with Five Nights at Freddy's, like, the quality doesn't really exactly matter. I think you just get the right IP and push it with the right kind of marketing. Like they pushed Five Nights at Freddy's at Halloween. People came out, man. Kids loves this game. Teens that grew up on this game love it. And they're coming out in droves. This is a huge opening. Are you pretty surprised with this, Leo?
I am a little bit, and the only reason why I'm surprised is because it came out on streaming at the same time. I was a little bit a little blindsided in that I thought we were going to see it. A lot more people see it on streaming. I was like, whatever. They're releasing it on Peacock, but kids want to go see this in theaters, man. They want to go see this in theaters, and it's crazy. I mean, it's banked in a really good opening. I think that 78 mil, that's great.
It's
Like, I
crazy.
mean, that's more than they could ask for. Cause I think what is the budget on this? Like 20 mil, if that?
Oh yeah, they
Like, I think they were working with barely anything.
they
Like,
almost 4 times their budget in one weekend. It's crazy. Like,
yeah, they really racked in a good haul. Let me see.
and the haul is comparable to Guardians.
20 mil. And then
Like,
worldwide, it's 130.
yeah, and like Guardians made around the same type of opening. It's pretty interesting.
Bro, Guardians made 119, so it beat Guardians.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, that's crazy to me. Like this franchise or this genre, if you will, of video game movies is really proving to like find its formula, find its footing very well. We're starting to see successes really happen. You know, Sonic didn't rake in a lot, but then you see things like the Super Mario Brothers movie. These studios are gonna be they're gonna be like dogs, y'all, trying to get on these game franchises. We got
Also,
around the
Larry brought up a good point. Guardians made 119 domestic. So
domestic. You right. You right.
So, but still, that's
You
a huge.
right.
It's still a huge opening for Five Nights at Freddy's, especially for guys. We're not even talking about like at least Super Mario has been around since the 80s because it's like a Nintendo game. Five Nights at Freddy's is a mobile game. It's like a cell phone game. Like this is
well, hold on, it's on PlayStation and PC.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Well, I just thought it was like, you know, I'm used to like kids playing on their phones and all that, but
but yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, there's a bit of a phenomena going on with this movie right now, with a bit of like a critics versus fan phenomena going on, and the narrative is strange because it almost implies that critics can't be fans as well.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we could be fans too. So I it's like Black Adam a little, and where the audience score is like a lot higher. And I think fans of the video game, especially deep lore fans of the video game, will really enjoy this. Maybe.
Right.
I mean, I admittedly, I haven't played the game, but I read into some of the lore and stuff and watched some videos before I watched the movie. And you know, the movie was not good to me. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't quite enjoy it, but I could see some of the charm, and the animatronics look cool, but we'll get into all that later, y'all.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about it more later. But look, Colby's making some good points. Like it shows like fans will accept bullshit when it looks like their IP, but it also implies that critics can't have fun. It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, it's like we can have fun. We can be fans as well. They saying it's like Mario game. Yeah. What a phenomena, huh? I wonder what the box office would have looked like if they would have just said no Peacock. Let's just go straight in the theaters.
Yeah, no, that's kind of interesting. Like how much of a bump would it have gotten? Like, because I think they had 60 mil streams at home, right? Something like that.
Something, bro. I mean, they had quite a turnout on the streaming service as well.
Yeah.
Let's see, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I took a look at it. It's about 60 mil, I think.
That's a lot, man.
That's huge. Like, especially like the same day. Like, that's crazy. It makes you wonder how many of that 60 mil would have went to the theaters.
Yeah, I'm curious, man. I mean, especially with the audience word of mouth, I think that matters as well. So, G. Colby agreeing with the critics. Movie wasn't good. Listen, man, I didn't like it either. Yeah, Tyler, throw me in the Freddy Fazbears. Because I didn't like it. Not enough jump scare. Mid. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you guys. I don't know if Kit's still here, but she said it was like a drama almost.
Yeah, no, honestly,
and it was dang near. I mean,
there was a little bit too much of that. It almost put me to sleep. So
yeah, man, but yeah, not too surprising here. I wonder how it'll do next weekend though.
Oh yeah. Well, to be honest, I think they might have another weekend on them. I don't think anything big's coming out next week. Like, do you know of anything coming out next week that might knock it off its pedestal?
I don't think there's anything major dropping next week unless I'm missing something.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're around the corner from the Marvels. which is the 10th, and then Songbirds and Snakes, and then Wish, which Wish can really clean up.
Oh yeah,
It's in
but
a good position.
that's some time away though, so they should definitely have at least another weekend at the top.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that being said, hats off to the crew at Five Nights at Freddy's. Female director Emma Tammy raking in the bucks.
Yep. Next week is a Dead Zone.
And I got a lot of spooky news for us, guys. This is the spooky show of the month. Guillermo del Toro's upcoming Frankenstein film confirms Oscar Isaac will star as the creature. Andrew Garfield will be Dr. Frankenstein, and it's speculated that Mia Goth is the bride. But it's weird. It's not concrete, which I find interesting. I'm not sure if they're trying to like keep that hidden, or maybe that was leaked. It wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't supposed
Right,
to
who knows?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be released as news. But first of all, I love Guillermo del Toro as a filmmaker. He's fantastic. You know, Pan's
Phenomenal.
Labyrinth, Hellboy. You know, and he's just
Recently,
done.
Pinocchio.
Yes, he's such a great storyteller, and it's so cool to see. I mean, some people didn't like Crimson Peak. I thought it was okay, but he can do horror really well, and he also has a fondness for classic horror, for gothic horror. So it's really cool to see him dip his toes into a classic creature like Frankenstein.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys can tell, I was having some fun here. I put Oscar Isaac's Apocalypse kind of pasted on old Frankenstein's head over there. So I was having some fun with it. Threw a little green tint on there, but you know that's not what he's gonna look like. But I figured Apocalypse looked pretty dead on the screen anyway. So
it works, man. Looks good.
So I'm excited, man. I can't wait to see this. I mean, how excited are you, Leo? I know you're a fan of his work as well.
Can't wait, man. Love Pan's Labyrinth. He has a knack for goth. Oh, I thought that was me, y'all. He has a knack for goth, though. I mean, he's got it down. His Pinocchio was so good. So I trust him with adaptations. I think he could do so well with this property. Tyler saying in the comments, why is Guillermo making Frankenstein's monster hot? We don't have a problem with that. Let him make him attractive.
Hey, if there's one thing I've learned, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein with Bobby De Niro as the monster. Man, you can make anybody look however you want. That was just looking at Bobby De Niro, it was terrifying. His face was all disconfigured, so it can be done.
Messed up, bro. So he can. Guillermo del Toro can work some magic.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure Oscar Isaac will look pretty messed up.
Oh my god, me and Arthur are agreeing. I wasn't big on Crimson Peak either.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it though. So
yeah, not a terrible one. Ron Perlman isn't freaking signed. Surprise. Yeah, you know, I really like this cast, man. Mia Goth killing it in horror right now. Bringing in Oscar Isaac, Andrew Garfield, big guns. I love it, man. I love the sound of this.
Yeah, no, this sounds like a win. This sounds like a big return to form for Guillermo del Toro. I don't know if you guys remember this. He had a really good creature feature in the late 90s called Mimic, starring Mira Sorvino, Josh Brolin, Charles S. Dutton. It's a weird B-movie creature feature with like giant roaches, and I loved it. But so it's nice to see him return to his horror roots. So
I can't stand that Shape of Water, y'all. No. Another La La Land. Chili Boy Loves.
There you go. See?
Nah, Larry. Go on, take that then. Ron, yeah, he probably will pop up in some capacity. Ron Perlman.
Oh man, hey Colby, don't get me started. I didn't even want to bring that up, but Kenneth Branagh's Frankenstein is so awful. It's a horrible movie, but you know, De Niro did his best. I had a lot of issues with that movie. I have a funny review on Letterboxd if you guys want to read it. But with that being said, I'm excited. GDT is always, anything he's doing is always exciting, and he's fresh off the heels of arguably one of his most successful. Is that his first Oscar for Pinocchio? Oh no, he got one for Pan's Labyrinth too, didn't he?
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's got a few. I thought,
but what, you know,
not entirely sure.
Anyways, It was a huge
Oh,
moment
no,
for him.
no, because he's got Shape of Water.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I
Shape of
forgot. I
Water.
forgot how well that did. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I honestly, I liked it. I liked it. I don't know if that was the best picture that year. You know.
I was
All
not
right.
feeling.
And the spooky news continues, guys. So Mike Flanagan, fresh off the fall of the House of Usher, he has an upcoming film based on a Stephen King story called The Life of Chuck. We got Tom Hiddleston, Karen Gillan. Please help me, Leo. How do you say his? I can never say his name.
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
I love this guy. I just cannot say his name. We got Matthew Lillard, guys. Mark Hamill. Like, this is crazy. I think Jacob Tremblay. I couldn't fit him into the collage there, but Jacob Tremblay, just a really awesome from top to bottom, all ages. It's a very eclectic
Jacob
cast.
Tremblay.
I'm excited. Mike Flanagan has me convinced. I just recently kind of caught up with his work. I did like Doctor Sleep, but I haven't seen much of his films. Like, I haven't seen. I think he did one of the Ouija's, right? The Origin of Evil or something like that. I
Oh,
think,
yeah, he did. Did he?
yeah, he did the second one. Apparently, it's good. And then he also did.
I don't like them.
Was what? You're like, I didn't like that.
Did
The way you said it. I think he did Before I Wake as well. And then I saw Doctor Sleep.
Dr.
Sleep was,
Slate?
Dr. Sleep was
Gerald's
cool.
Game. Did you check out Gerald's Game?
No, I've been meaning
That's
to. I know
pretty
Carla
good.
Gugino's in that. And
Yeah, Gerald's
Col-
Game is very claustrophobic horror. Very
looks like Kobe and John saw Oculus. They liked that.
Nah, G Kobe. I'm sorry, man. Both of them Ouija movies just ain't for me.
Well, anyways, I've been going on and on. I mean, Leo, I think you're more Flanagan fan than I am, but I'm learning. How excited are you for this?
Oh, I'm psyched. Guys, I still gotta watch Midnight Mass though. So I wouldn't call me a Mike Flanagan super fan because I still gotta check that out. But I've loved most of the things I've seen from Mike Flanagan. This cast is stacked, bro. Matthew Lillard. Like this is just crazy, man. Tom Hiddleston. And I'm glad to see Mark Hamill getting some more work.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like him and Flanagan are really working together a lot more. So, no, get out of here, Larry. Gerald's Game is way better.
See, I knew it. Film Twitter loves Origin of Evil. I've seen the takes. I've seen the takes. Like, oh, Tyler's here. He is in the building. Tyler is the Mike Flanagan super fan here.
Yeah, I still got to see Midnight Mass and Midnight Club. So until I get those, I'm not quite the super fan category yet.
Right.
But I love the cast. I love the sound of it. What's this book though? I haven't read The Life of Chuck.
Well, apparently, the Stephen King story is If It Bleeds. So, again, I'm not a big Stephen King guy. So
yeah, I haven't heard of that one. So, but right on, man. Hey, I'm feeling this. Now, drop it in October. Please drop it in October.
I hope so.
Because for Christ's sake, this year's October releases were a mess, in my opinion. Now,
oh, here we go. So John's given us the deets. It's a novella, and it's from a 4-story book. I imagine Life of Chuck is one of those stories, John.
Okay.
So again, I don't know much about it, but this cast is exciting. Mike Flanagan's exciting. You know what's funny? Now that I'm kind of like figuring out his style of how he writes things, I am like so curious about his Clayface movie. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys heard about this. Mike Flanagan himself tweeted he wanted to do a Clayface. This is a guy. This is a rogue gallery from Batman. He wanted to do a Clayface movie and make it kind of like sympathetic almost, and kind of like show another side of the character, make it like a horror / monster film. So
I'm down for that.
That would have been cool. I would have loved to have seen that. But yeah, Life of Chuck. It should be filming hopefully sometime next year. The strike allows.
Yeah, if the strike allows.
All right, switching gears a little bit. Paddington in Peru. unfortunately gets delayed until 2025. And Rachel Zegler was previously attached to the project, but she has to drop out. I imagine it's scheduling as well as, I think the strikes are going to affect a lot of these upcoming releases. I think this has a lot to do with it as well. So it's unfortunate. I think Rachel Zegler is awesome. I know she's tied up with the hell hole of
So
dwarves
like,
in Snow White. the
ugh,
the
man.
Snow White in dwarves hellland, nightmare escape. But anyways, to stay on topic, guys, Paddington. I really, really, really like Paddington 2. Paddington 1 was okay, but he's such a lovable character, and I'm excited to see where his story goes. Are you a big Paddington fan, Leo?
Yeah, you talking about Paddington 1 was okay.
Well,
Paddington 1 was great.
it's all right. No, you don't. Okay, you know what? Okay, hold on. Hear me out. Hear me out. Look, the little bear's cute and all, and he's funny, but I don't know. For me, like I think the slapstick really caters to children, and I have to be in the mood for it because when he was in the bathroom, I just wasn't like it. I wasn't
Oh,
in the right mindset. I was like, oh, he broke the toilet. Oh no. Oh, he's putting the toothbrush in his ears. Like, what is he doing? Like, I don't know.
it's like
I just
flabbergasted because the first one is so good.
I don't know. That wasn't working for me. I don't know. but but I liked the second one. I liked the whole, the storybook thing going on and him trying
Lodo, like the first Paddington?
to let me take off real quick. I'm sorry. But for real, I'm excited for this. I think this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool to see him go home because if I recall, he got shipped out. He's never been back, right? So
Nope.
yeah, so this is
Paddington and
where
Yaloo.
yeah, so this this is where his family's from. It'll be nice to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one, man. I mean, I would have liked to see Rachel Zegler in it, but I'm excited for what's to come.
Larry said these takes tonight are wild and sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
I just like Paddington 1 is okay. That blindsided.
Okay,
But
look,
yeah, I
look.
love these movies so much. They're just full of so much heart, guys. There's so much heart in these movies, and they're so heartfelt. And I love that. It's just a bundle of warmth every time you watch it, and I love it. I love both of them
So
so dearly.
don't hear
Uh,
what I'm not saying. I didn't not like the first Paddington. I just thought
you thought it was okay. You just thought it
yes,
was okay. You
yeah,
thought it was all right. That's okay.
but I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. Oh,
Yeah, I really
Colby's
like.
calling you out, Leo.
Call me out, G. Colby. Yes, it's true. I like Paddington 1 and 2, which gives me some small glimmer of hope for Wonka. Yeah, because I actually thought Wonka looked pretty good. And then when I heard it was the Paddington director, I was like, like I got even more
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, no, my eyes lit up when I saw it in the trailer. It was like the director of Paddington. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I
let's
was
go.
like, okay. Sally Hawkins is in the movie. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm down. Bring in
Damn.
Paddington, make a Paddington cameo. I'm down.
Hey, I didn't realize Colby called me the Grinch, guys. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, y'all love Paddington, don't you?
Hell yeah. I'm like, Paddington? Come on, that first one is so good. You know, it's kind of almost like maybe it's because the second one is so good it overshadows the first one for
See,
you.
I think that's my problem. Like, that's just the second was so good. But anyways, let's carry on before they start throwing tomatoes at me. Paddington and Prue. I am excited for this film, you guys. All right, this one's pretty interesting. I'm on the fence with this one, but Chad Stahelski, director of the John Wick films, he confirms he is rebooting Highlander with Henry Cavill, and the film looks to begin filming next year. Is this one of those things? Did they get some kind of agreement for that? Like, or is that just pending that they're assuming the strike's ending? Like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It is a little.
the report was kind of odd, but if you guys don't know, Highlander was a cult classic film from I think it was 1987, I believe, 86. Starred Sean Connery, Christopher Lambert, and the whole concept was it was like time traveling swordsman kind of thing. Like this guy, if you are the one, there can only be one. That's like the tagline of Highlander. There can only be one, and if you are the one, it's like you're like immortal, and there's always like a challenger ready to cut off your head. Some kind of thing like he will be the next one when you cut off the other guy's head. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not. Leo just yawned. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really big on the lore of Highlander, but I like what Chad Stahelski has done with the John Wick franchise. It'll be interesting to see him do something without guns, because this will be a lot more of like a swordplay type of story. And as you can see from The Witcher, which I use in this bad Photoshop I did right here, we've seen what Henry Cavill can do with a sword. So this will be interesting. I will be more optimistic after I see like a trailer, because I got to know the tone and the vibe they're going for. But Leo, are you yawned over there? Are you not a Highlander fan?
Not really, and I am looking forward, to be honest with you guys, I am looking forward to see what Chad Stahelski can do. Liven this up. Pep it up. Bring it up, y'all. I need to be, I need, because Stahelski, you know, he worked with guns, but he also worked with swords in these as well. So, I mean, and throughout the John Wick franchise, we've seen a ton of sword play. I'm looking forward to seeing that caliber of action with this franchise. Let's do it. Let's do it. Hit the gas.
So I'm curious, right? So Sean Connery had a big role in the first film. I'm kind of curious who could be that for Henry Cavill. That's a fun fan cast right there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I feel like Ian McShane's too old for that role.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would have been a natural choice coming from the John Wick franchises. Yeah, I don't know. I've been trying to like ponder on that. Who would be a good fit for that right now? Like the right age, the right
Pedro?
Is he that old?
No. I mean, we can age him up a little.
Right. No, like put some aging makeup, put some white hair on him. Okay, Mingo's got the tea. Let's highlight this one real quick.
Arthur?
Highlander is a contest of immortals who fight to be the only one. They can sense each other, and the only way to kill them is to cut off their head. When you kill one, the survivor gets their power. So hold up. Did Jet Li's the one just rip off that story? Because I love the one.
Oh, Pedro will be such a good Zorro.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that would be great, man.
So, okay, just going back to Highlander real quick. That's an interesting premise. And I think, again, I'm not really big on the old films, but I think a reboot will be interesting.
Yeah, you know, I'm just with Highlander. I'm like, yeah, freshen this up. Look, the real Witcher season 4.
But yeah, guys, that about wraps it up. That is the roundup.
That is the roundup, y'all. We're gonna go into our last segment of the night here. We're going in. Movies and shows of the week, baby. Y'all, we are talking this week. We're talking 2 movies which we actually saw separately. So we're going to talk a little separately. I really wish I would have got to see this, man. But Lo, I'm going to head to you first. Tell us a little bit about The Killer, man. What you think? You know, didn't get to go. I ended up having to go to the Tina musical. Well, I say having to go, guys. I loved it. The Tina Turner musical was phenomenal. But it was on the same night as The Killer, so I haven't seen it yet. But Loretto, what did you think, man? Look, Fincher.
Oh,
guys,
man.
I love Fincher's filmography, especially when he gets a good thriller on his hands. I did not like Mank, so this is the first one after Mank, man. Tell me, bro, coming after Mank, how does it feel? How is it? How's Fassbender? What'd you think?
Yay, man. It's as a Fincher fan, admittedly, it's a strong return to form, return to his roots. He gets back into that nitty-gritty, man, back to the days of Seven and The Game and, you know, Alien 3 and Fight Club. really intense storytelling. Fassbender's great. Like immediately he creates an iconic killer in this story. It reminds me a lot of this classic noir film from 1967 called Le Samurai. It's a French film. I got the Criterion right here. This
Oh,
film is also about a hitman, but it's also like it really takes its time
fancy.
with the fine details. It's what the reason why I say it's like this, but it's also like this melded with like American Psycho, like that kind of elements, that type of narration. There's a lot of narration in it, but it serves the story in a really cool way because you're just in this guy's head and he just walks you through like he's doing yoga, he's scoping his target, and then he knows that music helps him focus, otherwise he'll get distracted, so he puts on the Smiths of all things, and the soundtrack's great. We got a great Trent Reznor Atticus Ross score, of course it's just a fantastic score. Gorgeously shot, and it's just interesting seeing that flip side to a killer, and he kind of breaks it down to us. I don't want to do too many spoilers. It's really an experience that you have to sit with and just be Michael Fassbender for like in a couple hours. It's great, man. It's there's also some interesting twists on that. No, they don't play Mr. Brightside. Good song though.
Oh,
Good song, you know.
that's the
I'm
perfect
coming out of my
opportunity.
cave and I'll be doing just fine. But yeah, it was a fantastic watch, man. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was my first 5-star film of the month, I believe, maybe second.
Oh,
Um,
snap.
but I liked it that much. It's a huge return to form for Fincher. I love the editing, the action's intense when it kicks in. But mind you guys, this isn't a John Wick style of film. It takes its time and there's a lot of meticulous details, but Michael Fassbender makes it interesting, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I want to see it again. I'm gonna see if I can get back to the Draft House. Alamo Draft House, thank you. It's the only one playing it in the Bay Area. It's not playing in any other theaters, so
Oh wow, just Alamo Draft House, huh?
it's an exclusive screening over there, man. So
Wow, but yeah, that sounds so good, man. I really can't wait to see The Killer because yeah, Mank was like the one. That was like the only one in Fincher's that I was like, ooh, I really don't like. Most of his other stuff I at least like a little, but that one I was like, I fell asleep on it. But yeah, The Killer, I can't wait for that one. Slow Burn is what I was looking forward to from the trailer. I mean, it looked like it had that tone of just really taking us through this journey. Not, yeah, the John Wick is great. You know, it's my third favorite movie of the year, but it's high velocity, quick action. This is like a slow burn, a character study of the psychology and psychosis of this killer. And it seems to me like maybe he's kind of questioning some sanity here. I'm really excited to see this one, man.
and
Is there
and
really a lot of dialogue? I don't think there's a lot of dialogue, is there?
surprisingly there is. Like there's
Okay.
a lot more than I expected, and
Oh,
also there's some humor to it. Like there are some moments like me and my audience, like we were having some pretty good laughs. So Fincher threw in some humor. It very much reminded me of like, you know, Fight Club has some black humor, that
yeah.
dark comedy, and
Okay.
he brings that back a little. And same thing with like American Psycho. It's a weird movie, but there's some funny moments in American Psycho. So
I like it better than I like Mank.
you know what's funny? I don't hate Alien 3, but again, it's just one of those movies like it's like there's a good movie in there somewhere. It's just it
It's hidden behind a bunch of mess.
well, I
Okay,
mean,
so Larry was saying it was a voiceover. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, I didn't think he like actually talked a lot.
well, again, it's one of those films where it caught me off guard when you get past like the first like the introduction. Once you get past the introduction, there's a lot more to it than I thought. So,
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I won't say more than that because it has some pleasant twists and turns. So
Yeah, okay, good to hear because the trailer looked really, really good. Then I was just like, all right, I know Fincher gonna be right on back.
yeah, but see, the fun part is the trailer is like just like the appetizer.
Ooh,
You know what
okay,
I mean? And
okay.
then you start digging a little deeper, and Fincher takes you places, man. So
Ooh, okay, okay. Listen, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. Joss Whedon blames Aliens 3 bad reception to the actors. Not saying his lines the right way.
of course he said that.
More people under the bus. All right, y'all. We gotta talk about this Five Nights at Freddy's, guys. We gotta talk about it because I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. This Five Nights at Freddy's, I just didn't quite like it. Let's play that back. Let's play that back. I didn't quite. So Five Nights at Freddy's. The bright spot about there's a couple bright spots in the movie. The cinematography is good, and I really like the animatronics. I don't think there's enough animatronics. I think there's a lot going on, and this could have easily been a 80-minute movie, 90-minute movie of Josh Hutcherson's character getting the keys to his new job at the abandoned pizza place. Nobody really wants to pick it up, but he has to in order to keep his sister, and then have it be there. But we've got this complicated other story going on with these dream sequences that are happening, and it's a dream. It's actually like a memory that he's experiencing over and over. And through this memory, sorry if I'm spoiling. Okay, let me dial it back. I won't spoil quite much. He discovers more and more through this memory. That's as far as I'm going to go, so I don't spoil. But I didn't think there were enough animatronics. I didn't think it was scary, unfortunately. I wanted this to be a little bit more frightening because at least the clips from the game that I saw were pretty chilling. And I wanted to experience that sort of fright in Five Nights at Freddy's. I just didn't think it was that scary. There were some jump scare attempts that didn't really scare me. And I wanted more jump scaring with the actual animatronics themselves. But the animatronics look really good, I will admit. I did think the animatronics looked great. They functioned really cool. I was like, okay, this looks very similar to the game. And I think they look believable. But there's just way too much going on with the plot. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was they were using the bad takes, but Matthew Lillard in this movie wasn't great. Josh Hutcherson wasn't that good. I can't not think of her name off the top of my head, but the girl who played Beck in You season 1 was not good. The acting was just off, so it makes me think it's the direction because the pacing was off, the acting was off, the script wasn't good. Like, just nothing was really lining up except the look. I mean, it looked cool, like the animatronics and the whole play place and just the pizza, the restaurant looked good. But I just didn't like it overall. I think it's a little boring. It's not scary, and I wanted something thrilling, and I think Willy's Wonderland does it better. I wanted something thrilling. It could have been short, sweet, to the point, could have had more. And it's PG-13. Yeah, you don't want to really take this R because of how well it did at the box office. But I don't know. There was some extremities it couldn't go to that kind of brought it back.
Hey, Megan showed you could do a good PG-13 movie, man. Megan did it. Megan,
yeah,
Megan did PG-13 horror good.
Megan is so good, dude. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think it could have just been much shorter. It could have been very tight in terms of story pacing, and it just wasn't. It's all over the place. And
is it just me? It kind of came off as like a fan film.
I mean,
like that's the kind of like quality I felt like we got. Like,
yeah, you know, actors and looks that are beyond a fan film. Like the look is like better than a fan film. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, like the execution kind of feels, you're right, fan filmy.
Like the way they told the story, the acting, like, you know,
I'm just like, the only thing I needed was just, like I said, 80 minutes. Josh Hutcherson gets this job because he has to, and have like weird, crazy shit going down throughout the whole shift. Like just have this weird stuff happening, have the kids break in during the shift and they get killed. And like, we can do this all in 80 minutes. There's a lot of lore they included from the game, like later games in this. And I think they could have saved that for the second or third ones, but we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see like a second one. A second one could honestly be better. Maybe they'll think about improving some of those things. I don't know. We'll see. But
it's funny. Joe's
overall not the best. And there's YouTubers involved, and some of them are okay, you know. Jacoby saying this movie makes me appreciate Mario because that had fan service but kept it simple. This was just convoluted. Yeah, it was like more complicated than it needed to be. Like I said, 80 minutes. Give us that. That's it. 80 minutes. Old abandoned restaurant, little game arcade restaurant. Yeah, Megan also broke the January release date curse. Yeah, for real. Give me the 20 million. I can make cinema. Yeah, just please, because that wasn't it. But you know what? The fan bases are really liking it. So, and the kids are really liking it. So, it does beg the question of the whole fans versus critics thing. This is also backed by the fact that the kids really like it. And I think it's because it's like, okay, it's scary enough for kids, but not for us. So it almost, weirdly enough, is like a kids horror movie because kids are liking it so much. They're not wanting to go to the theater so much.
It's just interesting to me. I just feel like, is it because kids can't recognize quality? Like, I'm not trying to insult their intelligence, but I feel like kids could be delivered a better product.
But it's not just kids, it's fans as well that are loving this.
Yeah.
They're eating it up.
Yeah.
Oh, he said Mario isn't a good comparison because that's an actual good film. Ooh. Ruh-roh. Loretto the Grinch tonight.
I'm just saying.
Exactly. G. Colby, security guard trapped in there for 5 days. Yeah. But we'll never get that movie. Maybe
Right.
Five Nights at Freddy's too. It's not too late to reboot. Well, Arthur asks, it's not for an adult audience. It's like, yeah, not really. I mean, it's for teens. Kids are really enjoying it. So, yeah. I mean, Monster House as a kid's horror film still turned out to be stronger quality. Yeah, it just was not that great.
Hey, actually, speaking of kids horror, Coraline's pretty good, man. And that final act,
fire.
Hey, that final act, like that has some spine tingling moments, man. Like it's pretty good. So I think kids can get a good horror movie, but
they can, but it was just like it marketed a little differently. And then when we got it, it's like, oh, now all the kids want to show up and show out and all that. So definitely strange. 5 days. It's 5 nights. Okay, well, it's the same. 5 nights. So many better gateway horror films for kids. Oh, yeah. Well, like Coraline. But Lo, let the people know, man, what's coming up over on your platforms and where they can find you.
You can follow me on Twitter or Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden. I'm a proud member of the Cinema Spot team, editor, critic, and reviewer. We got some 2 brand new reviews out. A review for Killers of the Flower Moon and a review for Eileen. Both, well, one of them is non-spoiler. So check that out at thecinemaspot.com, on all socials at thecinemaspot.
Guys, go follow our man over here. Go follow him at Marcellus Durden and over at thecinemaspot.com. Y'all, come on over to the main channel, Geekly Goods. We got a video going up tomorrow. I can't quite talk about the show yet.
Embargo.
Yep. It's Amazon Prime one, so that's all you really need to know. But other than that, also got a Jim V video in the works coming up later this week. And then various more content is going to come, guys. I got The Boy and the Heron next week. I've got American Fiction this Friday. I've got a lot coming up, guys. So there will be a lot of content on the channel. So come on over to the main one. And hey, if you're here and it's your first time, hit that subscribe button, y'all. And come on back, same time, same place. Next week, we'll be here talking movie news. See y'all next time.